This video is about the theme of loss, being lost, and displacement in Julia Cho's play, Durango. In this video, I will briefly introduce the playwright Julia Cho and the synopsis of the play. Then I will analyze how the theme of loss, being lost, and displacement can be found in the characterization of the three main characters, Buseng, Isaac, and Jimmy. Julia Cho was born in 1975 in Los Angeles to Korean parents, and she grew up in Mesa, Arizona. Her most notable plays include BFE, Durango, The Language Archive, and Aubergine. Durango is an interesting play because it is Julia Cho's only all-male play. Before this play, Julia Cho was well known for staging mother-daughter relationships, which is prevalent in her plays 99 Histories and BFE. In an interview, Cho stated that she specifically set out to write a play about Korean-American fathers and sons in Durango. According to Cho, she identifies more with the male characters because she had more freedom writing them. Cho stated that with writing female characters, she had to intentionally differentiate the characters from herself to prevent the audience from equating the character to the playwright. The play Durango is about Buseng, a 56-year-old Korean-American man, going on a road trip to Durango with his sons Isaac and Jimmy. Buseng is laid off from his job 4 years before he can retire with full benefits, but he does not reveal this to his sons. Isaac, who came back from an interview for medical school, is skeptical about the trip, but Jimmy, the city swim champion, is glad that his father is willing to spend time together as a family. As the trip continues in a jerky manner, with Isaac and Buseng arguing and Buseng taking the wrong road, the hidden secrets of each family member are revealed. The three members of the Lee family all experience loss and displacement. First, the family members are ironically tied together by the loss of a family member. In the play, Buseng's wife passed away due to breast cancer. The three characters take turns embodying Mrs. Lee and staging their memories with her, which informs the audience about what she means to each of them. For Isaac, losing his mother means losing the only person who would believe in his potential. Jimmy believes that his mother's passing makes the family less whole and yearns for the perfect family despite not having any memories of her. Jimmy feels that it is his responsibility to fill his mother's gap and make the family functional. While Buseng and his wife's marriage was dysfunctional, Buseng feels deep pain and guilt about the loss of his wife. In addition, the Lee family all feel a sense of displacement. As Asian Americans, they do not feel that they truly belong to America. As the only non-native English speaker in the family with a pronounced accent, Buseng experiences alienation when he communicates in English. From having to ask for the proper pronunciation of certain words to his son joining his co-workers in mocking his accent, Buseng is constantly reminded that his English is not his mother tongue. Buseng is also torn between his Korean identity and his American identity. While he expresses pride in Korean history and culture, he also believes that America is his home. Despite being born and raised in the United States, Isaac and Jimmy also feel displaced because they are acutely aware that they are a racial minority. For instance, Jimmy insists that his cartoon superhero will not be Asian, revealing that he perceives being Asian in America as abnormal. Isaac's comment that Jimmy and Isaac are already mutants also indicates that as Asian Americans, the Lee brothers feel that they deviate from the norm of Americanness. Now I will move on to how individual characters experience loss and being lost. Let's start with Buseng. The play begins with Buseng losing his job that he worked for 20 years, which also results in the loss of his identity. After being laid off, Buseng feels that he has also lost who he is and what he accomplished to all these years. Throughout the play, it is revealed that Buseng's loss is also the sacrifices he made in his life as a father and a first-generation immigrant. His words that he is just laying foundation and should not pursue what he truly desires reveals how much he had to give up to provide a better life for Isaac and Jimmy. It is heavily implied that Buseng harbored romantic feelings for his best friend, which is also something Buseng had to give up. Durango, the destination for the family trip, was actually a place where Buseng had planned to see his friend. In the end, Buseng never gets to take the train to Durango because the tickets are sold out, which indicates that what Buseng sacrificed is lost forever. Buseng is also in a state of being lost because he does not know what he wants in life after having withdrawn it from him for so long. Buseng driving in the wrong direction reflects his mental state. He does not know where to go. His words that he cannot recognize his face in the morning and that he does not know what he wants anymore indicate how lost Buseng is. Isaac is also a character who is in a state of being lost. Isaac suffers from a sense of aimlessness and failure. While he applied for medical school, he does not feel that he is capable of passing the interview and lacks a clear view of his future goals. Isaac believes that he cannot live up to Buseng's expectations, while Buseng does not trust Isaac's abilities and determination. Isaac's argument with Buseng and his dialogue with Jimmy reveals that Isaac has internalized the mistrust and negative ideas that Buseng has about Isaac. He feels that he is useless and that he is not good at anything. Isaac begins to play with a song that reflects his state of wandering. Similar to Isaac, the neon girl in the lyrics has nowhere to go and is diving into the darkness and vacancy. Isaac wonders if she is lonely or bored, or sick of repeating the same pattern over and over. At the end of the play, Isaac plays the tunes that we heard at the beginning, which implies that Isaac and the Lee family will be repeating the same cycle and continue to wander in life. Finally, Jimmy experiences loss and being lost in the play as well. Just like Buseng, Jimmy is lost in his way because he puts his desires aside to live up to expectations. Although Jimmy is an excellent swimmer, he does not enjoy swimming and is pressured by Buseng's constant reminders of his records. Similar to Buseng, Jimmy is also forced to reject his sexuality. Jungsub Nam points out in this article that superhero narratives often have many similarities with minority narratives. Nam argues that the Red Angel story is similar to Jimmy's story of finding out his sexual orientation. Just like the Red Angel grows wings at age 13, Jimmy realizes his attraction to men when he is 13. The Red Angel, who resembles the senior that Jimmy encountered, is both someone Jimmy identifies with and an object of sexual desire. However, Jimmy's desire clashes with his wish to assimilate with societal expectations, forcing him to relinquish his sexuality. In the end, Jimmy tears up the sketchbook that contained his drawings, and the Red Angel loses his wings. This action shows that Jimmy will also end up concealing his sexual orientation like his father. Jimmy will try to hide who he is to become accepted as a normal person instead of a mutant hero. This is the end of my video. Thank you for listening.